Top 3 worst foods that make arthritis swelling worse. Avoid these. Have you ever woken up and felt like your joints were made of concrete, stiff, swollen, and screaming with pain before your feet even hit the floor? You're not alone. And what if I told you that what's on your plate might be quietly fueling that pain every single day? In this video, we're diving into the top 3 worst foods that could be making your arthritis symptoms worse. Foods that seem innocent, even healthy, but are secretly triggering inflammation and holding your body hostage. You might be eating them right now without even realizing it. But here's the thing. Once you know what to avoid, you can start taking back control. Less pain, more movement, and a better quality of life. And stick with me to the end because I'll be sharing one simple, science-backed tip that can start calming inflammation today. Something so easy you'll wonder why no one ever told you before. Number 1. Processed and fried foods. Let's talk about one of the biggest culprits when it comes to arthritis flare-ups: processed and fried foods. I know, they're everywhere. Convenient, tasty, and let's be honest, sometimes really tempting. But if you're dealing with arthritis, these foods can quietly make things much, much worse. Now, I'm not here to scare you or make you feel guilty about enjoying the occasional treat. We all do it. But let's dive into why processed and fried foods are so problematic when it comes to inflammation and joint pain, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So first off, what are we talking about when we say processed and fried foods? Think about those golden, crispy fries from your favorite fast food place, or the frozen pizza in the back of your freezer, even that bag of chips that's calling your name during a late-night snack. These foods often contain harmful fats, especially trans fats and saturated fats, that can trigger inflammation throughout your body. And here's the thing. Inflammation is already at the root of arthritis. When you eat foods that promote more inflammation, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Your joints, which are already sensitive and inflamed, start reacting even more. That's when you feel more swelling, more stiffness, and more pain. Sometimes even the simplest tasks, like opening a jar or walking upstairs, can suddenly become a challenge. But it's not just the fats. Processed foods are also loaded with additives, preservatives, and a mountain of sodium. And that high sodium content, it can lead to water retention, which puts more pressure on your joints. And guess what? That means more discomfort and more swelling. It's all connected. Now let's talk about something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These little guys form when food is cooked at high temperatures, like grilling, frying, or roasting. AGEs can increase oxidative stress and inflammation in your body. So that crispy fried chicken or that sizzling burger, yeah, they might be tasty, but they're also contributing to the very pain you're trying to manage or reduce. But here's the good news, and yes, there is good news. You don't have to make a huge life change overnight. It's all about awareness and small, consistent shifts. Start by noticing how often you're eating these foods. Could you swap fried chicken for grilled or baked? Could you replace processed snacks with something more natural, like a handful of nuts or some fruit? I always like to say, your body is talking to you. When you feel extra achy or swollen after a certain meal, that's your body's way of saying, hey, something in that didn't agree with me. Pay attention to that. Start keeping a little food journal if it helps. Sometimes just tracking what you eat and how you feel afterward can open your eyes to patterns you hadn't noticed before. And listen, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Maybe you don't cut out all processed or fried foods at once, and that's okay. Maybe you start with lunch. Maybe you try a new recipe for roasted veggies or switch to air frying instead of deep frying. Those little changes add up, and they can make a huge difference in your daily comfort and long-term joint health. So next time you're reaching for something quick and fried, just pause and ask yourself, is this going to nourish my joints, or is it going to make them scream later? You have the power to make that choice, and every good choice builds momentum. Keep showing up for yourself, keep learning, and remember, small steps forward are still steps forward. You've got this. Number 2. Sugary beverages and snacks. All right, let's get into something that's sneaky and honestly kind of everywhere these days. Sugary beverages and snacks. Yep, those sweet treats and drinks that might give you a little energy boost or comfort in the moment, but can actually be working against your body, especially if you're dealing with arthritis. But don't worry, I'm not here to lecture you or tell you to cut out every little bit of sugar in your life. That's not realistic, and honestly, life's too short not to enjoy the occasional treat. But I do want to have a real talk with you, one-on-one, about why these sugary items can be a major trigger for inflammation and why your joints are probably begging you to ease up on them. Let's start with what happens in your body when you consume a lot of sugar. Whether it's from a soda, a candy bar, a pastry, or even that flavored coffee with all the syrup, your blood sugar spikes. Your body scrambles to deal with it by releasing insulin. This roller coaster of sugar spikes and crashes causes a stress response in your body, and guess what? That stress leads to, you guessed it, inflammation. And when you already have arthritis, your body is already in a state of heightened inflammation. So when sugar enters the picture, it kind of acts like an accelerant. It fans the flames. Your joints may swell, get stiffer, and feel more tender, sometimes just hours after a sugar-heavy meal or drink. But wait, it gets more interesting. Excess sugar can lead to the formation of compounds in your body called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs damage cells and tissues, and they're known to trigger inflammation throughout your body. So not only are you getting the immediate sugar spike, you're also setting off a chain reaction that could be quietly worsening your joint health over time. Let's also talk about one of the worst offenders, sugary drinks. I know. Sodas, sweetened teas, sports drinks, and even some juices seem harmless, even refreshing. But most of these are packed with liquid sugar, and your body absorbs that sugar lightning fast. It's like hitting the inflammation button on full blast. You're not just sipping a beverage, you're flooding your system with something your joints really don't want. And here's the tricky part. Sugar hides in places you wouldn't expect. Things like flavored yogurts, granola bars, even some salad dressings are packed with added sugars. It's not always just the obvious stuff like cakes and cookies. That's why reading labels is so powerful. You don't need to become obsessive, but a little awareness goes a long way. Now let me say this loud and clear. This isn't about cutting all sugar out of your life. It's about making smarter choices that support your body and reduce your arthritis symptoms. It's about finding the balance that works for you. For example, instead of reaching for a soda in the afternoon, try infusing water with lemon, berries, or mint. It's refreshing, and it won't leave your joints aching later. Craving something sweet after dinner? How about a piece of dark chocolate or some fresh fruit? You still get to enjoy the flavor, but without the same inflammatory impact. And if you're someone who loves to bake or snack, awesome. There are so many ways now to make or buy low sugar or naturally sweetened alternatives. Try using honey or maple syrup in small amounts, or use mashed bananas or dates to sweeten your recipes. These options are less refined and your body responds to them differently. And here's a motivational nudge. The less sugar you eat, the less your body craves it. It might not feel like that at first. Those cravings can be real, but over time your taste buds adjust. What once tasted just right might start to seem way too sweet. That's your body healing, resetting, and getting more in tune with what it truly needs. I also want to say this, if you've been relying on sugary snacks or drinks to cope, Whether it's for energy, stress, or comfort, that's totally understandable. Life is hard sometimes, but there are other ways to nourish your body and your soul without feeding the inflammation cycle. Try going for a quick walk when you feel that afternoon slump. Call a friend. Sip some herbal tea. Little actions like this add up, and they can make a big difference, not just in how you feel, but how your joints respond. So here's your takeaway. Sugary beverages and snacks may taste good in the moment, but they're not doing your joints any favors. You deserve to feel better, move easier, and enjoy life without being slowed down by unnecessary pain. And the amazing thing is, you have control. You can make choices day by day that lead you closer to less inflammation and more freedom in your movement. You're not alone in this, and you're not expected to be perfect. Just take it one step at a time. Swap one sugary drink for water. Reach for fruit instead of a candy bar. Each better choice is a victory, and your joints will thank you for it. Number 3. Refined carbohydrates like white bread and pasta. Let's have a real down-to-earth conversation about something that a lot of us grew up eating and probably still enjoy pretty regularly. Refined carbohydrates. You know, white bread, regular pasta, pastries, crackers, and even some breakfast cereals. They're tasty, comforting, and often cheap and convenient. But if you're living with arthritis, these seemingly harmless foods might be quietly making your symptoms worse. So what's the deal with refined carbs? Well, when we say refined, what we're really talking about is how these foods are processed. In refining grains, the outer layers, the bran and germ, are stripped away. That's where a lot of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals live. What's left behind is the starchy center, which breaks down very quickly in your body. Now here's where the trouble starts. When you eat refined carbs, your body digests them super fast. This causes a quick spike in your blood sugar levels. And just like we talked about with sugary foods, that spike triggers a release of insulin, followed by a crash. That back and forth not only messes with your energy and mood, but it also sets off inflammation. And for someone with arthritis, that's like poking an already sore spot. Refined carbs also contribute to the production of inflammatory chemicals in the body, like cytokines. Think of cytokines like little messengers that signal inflammation. When they're constantly being activated because of what we're eating, your joints start to feel it. You might notice more stiffness, more swelling, and more of that dull, nagging ache that seems to stick around no matter what you do. And you know what? It's not just about inflammation. Refined carbs can also lead to weight gain, especially when eaten in large amounts over time. Why does that matter? Because excess weight puts more pressure on your joints, especially your knees, hips, and lower back. It's like adding more weight to a backpack you're already struggling to carry. Even losing a few pounds can take a noticeable load off your joints. But I get it. These foods are hard to give up. White toast in the morning, a sandwich for lunch, a bowl of pasta for dinner. It's what many of us are used to. And here's the thing. You don't have to throw everything out and start from scratch. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Small, sustainable shifts can make a huge difference in how your body feels every single day. So what can you do? Start by upgrading your carbs. Instead of white bread, try whole grain or sprouted bread. Instead of regular pasta, look for whole wheat, brown rice, or even lentil or chickpea pasta. Those are packed with fiber and protein. And when it comes to snacks, swap out processed crackers for something like rice cakes, veggie sticks with hummus, or even a boiled egg. And let's talk about fiber for a second, because it's kind of a superhero when it comes to managing inflammation. Whole, unrefined carbs are rich in fiber, which helps slow down digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and feed the good bacteria in your gut. And a healthy gut plays a huge role in controlling inflammation throughout your entire body, including your joints. One thing I love recommending is starting your day with a fiber-rich breakfast. Instead of sugary cereal or white toast, try oatmeal with berries and a sprinkle of chia seeds. It's warm, comforting, and gives you steady energy without the crash. Your joints will feel the difference. Your energy levels might surprise you too. Another simple trick: read ingredient labels. If enriched wheat flour is one of the first ingredients, that's a refined carb. Look for whole grain or 100% whole wheat instead. It's not about being obsessive, it's about being informed. Once you start noticing these things, it becomes easier to make choices that support your health and ease your arthritis symptoms. And here's something encouraging. A lot of people report that after just a few weeks of cutting back on refined carbs, they start to notice real changes. Less morning stiffness, less joint pain after meals, more energy to move around and do the things they love. That's the kind of feedback I love to hear, and it's totally possible for you too. You deserve to feel better, to wake up without dread about how your joints are going to behave today. You deserve to have meals that fuel your body, not flare it up. And believe it or not, your food choices are one of the most powerful tools you have to help manage your arthritis. So if white bread and regular pasta have been your go-to for years, that's okay. There's no shame in it. But now you know a bit more. And when you know better, you can do better. Start with one swap this week. Just one. Maybe try brown rice instead of white rice, or grab whole grain bread instead of the white loaf. These little wins build momentum, and before you know it, they become habits. Remember, healing doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. Your joints will notice, your energy will improve, and most importantly, you'll start to feel more in control of your health. That's what this is all about. So here's to making empowered choices. One bite, one meal, one step at a time. You're doing great. Keep going. Summary. So let's recap. The foods we choose every day, processed and fried foods, sugary snacks and drinks, and refined carbs like white bread and pasta, can either fuel the fire of inflammation or help put it out. When you're living with arthritis, that choice becomes everything. By becoming more aware of what's on your plate, even making small, arthritis may have taken away from you. Manageable swaps, you can start to reduce swelling, ease joint pain, and regain some of the comfort and freedom. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. One better choice at a time. Your body will notice, your joints will thank you, and most importantly, you deserve to feel better. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more tips on managing arthritis naturally. And don't forget to share this with someone who could use a little relief too. You might just change their day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive into that powerful anti-inflammatory tip I teased earlier and a few foods you should be eating to feel stronger, healthier, and pain-free. See you soon.